The opportunity to use my scholarship to reach more people is one of the most rewarding things that has ever happened to me.
It's a radical experiment in thought leadership.
To make our planet, our world, safer for all, we actually need to have multiple stories, not just the story about us versus them. This is my opportunity to have my voice, put it out there, and hopefully young girls, young women, and even women my age to see that it's important to speak your voice and to make sure it's heard. Right now, a lot of the public conversation about emergency medicine focuses on the cost of care and people who are inappropriately or felt to be inappropriately accessing the emergency department. And what I was hoping to do was highlight the other aspect, that we are an important and essential safety net for patients and for society.
Kids here in the United States don't have a right to appointed counsel. So can you imagine a 14 or 15-year-old having to navigate that system by themselves? And I think they're a small enough population that we can find a way to give each child a lawyer so that they even have a fighting chance in immigration court.
I do music education for the young men in the detention center. And so that piece was about access and the power of arts education for not just everybody, but especially kids who are maybe marginalized or in tough situations.
I just published an op-ed in Reuters on Oscar diversity. It was a piece about implicit bias and the way that our stereotypes about who is a good actor or who's a good director, usually that means white men, interferes with people's ability to really judge women and people of color objectively.
Well, I'm a person that loves to collaborate in general about my science, about research, and I love hearing the different voices that we hear even in the fellowship. And Sarah was one of the people whose work moved me and where we have some real common ground. So she's a developmental pediatrician and I'm a developmental scientist. Both of us are very, very interested in early development.
There's been a proposed cut to early intervention services for families of children under the age of 3, which has a potential devastating effect and something that's pretty short-sighted.
And if you miss the window, the learning is never going to be as good as it was then.
The collaborations have been very transformative.
The op-eds that I write focus on fathers and mental health and father involvement, and it's been really touching to see fathers responding and fathers feeling appreciative of the work that I do.
There has been a lot of talk about this year in the United States about violence against African Americans, and I wanted to write a piece calling attention additionally to the violence that is threatened or perpetrated against Muslim Americans. I published that piece in the Huffington Post, and many parents who read it told me that it brought them to tears.
The impact has been largely in lifting my reputation in my division. It was exciting to me because it got published on the Washington Post website. I'm not just talking about things that are important to me, I'm talking about important issues to the whole world.
The op-ed appeared in Time and got wide readership. I was called by NPR and by Vice News. I was suddenly able to give voice to a much broader audience. There are Flints all over the United States and all over the world. And it's only when the media focuses in that real change can happen.
Working with some of the most brilliant minds in the nation. And so one of the endeavors of what we're all doing together is to invest in that brain power, much of which is absent from the public conversation. What could we do, and what would be the return to society if we could invest in all those missing voices and missing ideas?
Oftentimes, I feel like I need to be lifting the sand on the beach, but I'm lifting it one grain at a time. And so what it means for me to have a public voice is that it gives me a bulldozer, right? I can lift a whole lot of sand at one time.